The City of Nedlands draft Mount Claremont master plan was released in November 2024, and it sets out one of the largest long-term redevelopment opportunities in Perth's western suburbs, a corridor that could provide up to 8,600 new dwellings, housing over 15,000 people. So the plan spans 427 hectares between Shenton Park, Karrakatta and Floreat, and it proposes how institutional and underutilized land could gradually transform into new neighbourhoods, town centres and employment hubs. So whilst it is still a draft and non-statutory, meaning that it doesn't carry any legal weight, it provides a window into how this pocket could evolve into the future using statutory instruments. The plan identifies 3 growth scenarios ranging from 1,600 to 8,700 dwellings, depending on whether key land holdings such as Graylands Hospital, UWA's Shenton Park Field and parts of Irwin Barracks are ultimately redeveloped. The redevelopment logic is simple. The area is close to 2 train stations, several employment anchors and major transport corridors, yet large parts remain fenced off or institutionally controlled. So over time, as uses change and buffers reduce, this could become Perth's next major infill precinct. The most commercially relevant area sits around Graylands South, identified for a future neighbourhood and mixed-use centre. This precinct could accommodate retail, medical and community services for surrounding residents, anchored by new medium-density housing. Around Shenton Park and Karrakatta stations, the plan anticipates higher intensity development, supported by active transport links and green corridors. These nodes are well placed for medical, allied health and convenience retail, being that they are close to train stations. The biggest limitation today is the Subiaco wastewater treatment plant buffer, so that affects roughly 55% of the total area. The buffer currently restricts residential uses across large tracts of land, but Watercorp has previously indicated that treatment upgrades or relocation could reduce this over time. The other constraints include former Stevenson Avenue landfill site and noise issues from the Dogs Refuge, which are both manageable in a long-term planning context. These are obstacles but not deal breakers for what is clearly envisioned as a multi-decade transformation. A quick review on Google Maps tells us that this is the largest tract of under or undeveloped land within the inner to middle ring of Perth suburbs. So sure, there's large tracts of land to be developed in the far north and south. However, the distance, being only 5 kilometres from the CBD, sets this area apart. Mount Claremont represents one of the few remaining large, central infill areas in Perth's west. If the state progresses with the higher growth scenarios, it could deliver 3,000 to 6,000 new dwellings and establish a new local commercial centre anchored by Graylands and Shenton Park train stations. Its proximity to rail and employment hubs makes it a logical next step in Perth's urban infill program. So whilst it's still early days and there is lots of politics and planning to play out, the groundwork has been laid for what may become Perth's next urban renewal corridor.